Yeah, this is Tim Moore with Guard Digital Marketing. So I'll get this video coming to you guys as promised here. I have the homepage of the website pulled up, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But first, I wanted to take a look at a Google search page. So what I've typed in is roofing Chicago, Illinois, which is obviously very relevant to you guys, meaning it's a buyer intent keyword for a service in an area that you provide that service within. Now, the main objective here is to index and rank on the first page for as many of these different keywords as possible to increase overall exposure to your business profile and website and leads that you guys can get in through both of those per month. Okay. Now, there is a few ways outside of those that you can actually rank. And the first way we're seeing is through running some pay-per-click ads or paid advertising with these Google guaranteed ads. Okay. Now, definitely a great option if you're not currently ranking organically in certain areas that you're trying to get work from, so on and so forth. And the only downside is about 80% of people are going to instantly disregard these ads, but they do have the highest conversion rate. So the people that are going to click on them, you're normally going to convert about 30 to 40% of those into actual leads. So definitely a great option if you're looking to get work right here, right now in a certain area. Now, next is ranking organically, right, through a Google business profile or through a website. Now, your Google business profile, I went ahead and I pulled up because you're only really going to be able to rank about a 5 to 10 mile radius from where your office is located at in Summit, Illinois. So, you guys are ranking number one when it comes to ranking, in for roofing in Summit, and your guys' website is on this first page too. So, you guys are doing great within the actual area that your office is located at. Now you really want to take a look at how can you start to branch out and start to rank in areas outlying or that have higher search volume per month, so on and so forth. Okay. So that's why I wanted to take a look at this page here in particular for Google search is roofing in Chicago. Chicago in itself is going to have some of the most search volume I've seen in the area. Naperville as well. Arlington Heights up north too has a lot of search volume. So Matthews Roofing is going to be the top competitor for Chicago Roofing. So I did pull up their website here in that we can take a look at as well. Okay, so we can tell right off the bat, you guys have a good, slick, clean looking website. Um, let's see here. I wanted to see if you guys have some call to actions on here as well. And by call to actions, I mean, buttons laid around, to call you or get to your contact page or get a free quote buttons. All those things help conversion rates on your website once you get somebody there. Now, what I can tell right off the bat too is your homepage is all tailored towards, roofing in Summit, Illinois, and that's a good thing. So I typically tend to make my homepage towards obviously my main service and the main location. And you can choose a main location between a couple different things, where your office is located at, or where the most search volume in an area that you service is. So I would have either made my homepage towards Summit, Illinois, or towards Chicago if I was in your shoes. Okay. Now, what you've done here as well, and what I extremely like, is built out all these areas served tabs. Now, what you do here is, let's go ahead and pull up your Chicago, Illinois one. Now, what you do here is you come in and you've created a little page that you're trying to rank, this specific page of your website for Chicago itself or for any of these other areas, right? Naperville, you have Schaumburg, Aurora, so on and so forth. Now, here's where it comes tricky, okay? What I typically do is, okay, so we have Chicago, your Chicago page pulled up, right? This is the page we're trying to rank for Chicago when it comes to roofing. Well, you would want to take a look at what is your top competitor for roofing in Chicago doing and what are they doing to rank, okay? Because typically, along with some other factors, but content is going to be king when it comes to ranking a website. So we can see the content that you have on here. Literally a little bit more towards roof repair, some other interlinkings here, and about 150 words of content. Also, these pins for the different areas. And I believe this is a great way to help your actual business profile rank as well, with some reviews attached to these. And these are all, yeah, your data pins. Now, these are actually a great option. I think they help out a lot as long as you keep them up to date and these don't fall off either. Sometimes these can get lost within your website. So make sure you keep all that up to date. But back to content, okay? And I would have some call to actions within here too to get somebody to reach out to you and request a quote from you. But if we go over to Matthews, so it's their homepage that's ranking for roofing in Chicago. We can see a little bit about what they're talking about, how much content they have, so on and so forth on their homepage. And I would really dive into this because if you have this kind of similar content on yours, but you're not ranking, then we can start to kind of diagnose why you wouldn't be, okay, if your content is already correct. So, as I've been talking about, the main key is just going to be building out these different service area pages to be consistent with what some of your top competitors are doing content wise. And again, if you aren't ranking, there's tons of other things, not tons, but quite a few other things that can help rank a website for certain things. That main key is going to be content. And of course, if you are similar to what your top competitors are doing and you still aren't ranking, since we know that content is working, we can start to decipher and figure out what other things you may be lacking on. So it's great when it comes down to really starting to figure out, is this working? Is this not working? So on and so forth there. Now, the next thing I always like to use is this paid program. It's great for comparisons between these different websites. In this instance, your guys is in the Matthews. So these first two numbers I just highlighted are going to be your strength and trust ratings that Google has for your website. Okay, so this is one factor that helps a website rank because Google's a popularity contest. Okay, now these are ranked out of 100, but typically once you hit a benchmark of about 30 and above for both of these, you're going to be considered a pretty powerful website at that point in Google's eyes. Now you build that strength and trust through these backlinks that are coming from these referring domains, and a backlink is simply put, any clickable text or image linking one website to another, and they're all held within these different referring domains. Now, what's crucial about these domains is that they are authoritative, that you're getting these backlinks from. And by authoritative, I mean they already have high strength and trust within Google. So once you do acquire a backlink from them, it's going to help your ratings in return. Now, you're indexing for just over 30 keywords, but you're getting no traffic as of right now. And if we actually look at the keywords that you're indexing for, we want to make sure you're starting to index for a lot of these, buyer intent keywords for where you're trying to target. And we see you have quite a few of them in here, but again, you're not ranking for any of them currently. Your top position right now is on the third page of Google, and that's even more towards, somebody, I guess that's somebody looking for some flat roofing done in Chicago, the TPO. And then you have, your next few ones, commercial roofer, some emergency roof repair, so on and so forth. And you can see those are the two you're ranking for on that, or indexing for on that Chicago areas served page, as we were seeing there, that emergency roof repair in Chicago, right? Now, if we come over to Matthews, if I get back to their dashboard here, we can see their strength and trust has been built out quite a bit, right? So they've been building that. They're getting close to that benchmark on that DR. The UR still needs some work, but they're indexing for a lot of keywords and bringing in a lot of traffic. Now, their keywords, what's interesting about them, and this is what happens years down the road with Google, okay? And sometimes not years, but it does take some time and effort. So you would think with this many keywords that they're indexing for that they have a blog, which they do. But the curious thing with them is they only have about 3 blog posts from back in 2018. Okay. So what happens is once you start to index for keywords associated with certain things, Google can actually take over and start to index you for other keywords very relevant to the ones you're already indexed for and are in your content, and we'll start to index you and rank you for keywords that aren't even necessarily within your content, okay, but they are still relevant. And that's what started to happen here. Now, also, again, clicking on these keywords, once they load for me, there we go, we can see the keywords that they're starting to rank for and getting a lot of their traffic from. And there are all these nice roofing buyer intent keywords for Chicago, including commercial and roofing repair. And let's just take this first one, for instance, and do a little number crunching. So roofing Chicago, that gets 300 searches per month on average, and they're capturing about 50% of that audience, which is incredible, okay? Now, industry standard on a buyer intent keyword like this is about 30% of that traffic will end up turning into a lead for a company. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting 40 to 50 leads per month just from this one keyword. And when you start to go through and add up all their keywords, I mean, there's no doubt they're getting 100 plus leads per month through their website for all these different keywords. And that point, you can see how lucrative this can be of an investment to do this correctly. Okay. So I think with that, I'm going to round this video up. I'm just over 10 minutes, so I'm getting a little long here. If you guys have any further questions or concerns, just please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you any way I can. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you soon.